Holy schmoly. Holy schmoly. Holy... Oh man, I'll tell you something. That whole experience was just nothing that I was expecting. So today I headed over to the View Cinema to watch the Doctor Who season finale. Man, oh man. It's just... So let me give you a rundown. We arrived at the View Cinema and we headed off to Nando's first. Love a bit of Nando's. I had a half chicken because I bloody love half chicken, and a lot of halloumi because goddamn, I love me some halloumi. The one main thing I was looking forward to all day was a Tango Ice Blast. And when we got to the cinema, oh, they'd taken it apart because they're building a new thing there. So there was no Tango Ice Blasts. I'm fuming. I had this huge milkshake instead, which was bad idea. Big bad idea. Once we'd sat down in our wonderful recliner seats that they have at the View Cinema, I then realised, oh wait, we've got to watch Wishworld first before we even start the season finale. I will say though, that I enjoyed Wishworld 10 times more at the cinema than I did watching it here. For some reason, watching Doctor Who on a cinema screen makes you appreciate it in a whole different way. I feel like if all Doctor Who fans watched Doctor Who at the cinema, there would be a lot less hate towards it, because Jesus, you really pick up on how wonderful the cinematography can be, the direction, the performances. Murray gold. Yes, baby. We've all seen the rumours about Ncuti Gatwa leaving. It was like, no, he's not. Yes, he is. But he's not, though. But he is. Like, what I witnessed tonight was what I was expecting, but wasn't at the same time. There is so much to unpack in this episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the episode again. Yeah, because I have to watch these episodes like 4 times. But I'm not going to be doing a usual reaction like I usually do. I'm going to be just looking at the main points of the episode, because you're not getting an initial reaction from me. It's just been an insane evening, and we'll get to the main talking points throughout this video, so make sure you do leave a like. This is the season finale. This is the last time I'll have to do this on a Saturday, likely for another few years. But I have my thoughts on the ending to this episode, so let's get there first. Let's get ready to watch some epic Doctor Who. I have just come out from watching this and I'm now watching it again. So this is... I had like 2 litres of a milkshake. I'm so thirsty. This was so nuts. Big Anita. I love Anita, man. I'll tell you why as well. I'm editing my Doctor Who review at the moment for season 2. I've just reviewed Joy to the World, and I was sitting there raving about her in that episode. And then literally a few days later, she pops up in Doctor Who again. I was well happy.
Anita! Hello, Doctor.
I will say, this era and its flashbacks. Listen, this is nuts. Nostalgia Bay. I love it. Yeah, so one thing I didn't understand about this time hotel sequence was I thought they could only enter a time period, a time zone where a specific door had been built in a hotel. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know you could just build a door anywhere and just visit anywhere.
The most fearsome Time Lord in existence.
The thing is, this episode is quite long, and the exposition, holy schmoly.
And I have a daughter.
But she isn't real.
How dare you?
Yeah, so this Poppy thing was immensely confusing. Like, insanely confusing.
I'm coming down.
Yes, he's coming down, and he is coming out. When he puts on that outfit, I'll tell you now, he ate. Yeah? He fucking ate. Where did that outfit come from? Who knows? But he is slaying. Yes, Queen.
We've had a baby.
In a single day.
Honestly, if anyone told me that the Doctor was going to become a dad in this era or in this season, I would have laughed in your face, spat in your eye, and called you a silly little piggy. Because I didn't see that fucking coming.
What on earth do you think you're wearing?
The future! I am the Doctor.
Yes, you fucking are, man. Yes, you are. I love it.
I'm wearing tweed. Wearing nylon.
Danger!
Yes, most useless character in all of this era. Why? Why? There's a lot in this era that is just not needed. Rose is one of them. Why is she here? She's pointless.
What the bloody hell is that thing?
When there's tears, there's hope.
Well, now you're going too far.
I'll do anything for you, mistress.
could tilt you on your side and serve olives in those dimples. Can you find him, Connie?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This is the campest thing I've ever seen, by the way. How did she get that Vespa up there? It's so ridiculous.
God blimey. Look at that police box. And pinning it all down.
I really was hoping that the whole bi-generation thing, because by the way, it still makes absolutely no sense. I thought it was going to be the Rani created bi-generation in order to sort of save the Time Lords, but then they just said, oh no, it's like, it's a way of, it's a thing of survival. Nah.
Exile to the underverse means he survived.
You can't know that.
Like, this whole sequence we're watching now is just exposition on who Omega is, right? But at the end of the day, as we all find out, he is not an important part of this episode at all.
What would happen to Poppy?
She would cease to exist.
Yeah, this sequence goes on for ages. I will say, this scene got me fucking stoked in the cinema. This is pure sci-fi goodness right here. Fucking lasers against big bone dinosaurs. Nuts.
Or age or suffocate, you just be.
Imagine how bored you'd get. Eternity, just never being hungry, or never aging, you're just there all the time. Oh, she's so precious. She's so precious. I love this sequence. It's just, it looks incredible.
The indigo device is a transmat, like a matter transporter.
Quickly explain this, MacGuffin. Quickly explain this. Quickly explain this. More exposition. Now explain this device. Another flashback that just wasn't needed. It just wasn't needed. This is insane.
Just shut up and go!
He's so brilliant in this episode, man. I love him. This is nuts. Like, how can anyone not enjoy watching like shit like this in Doctor Who? It's so fucking epic.
I suggest we find out.
I want to buy her sonic screwdriver, by the way.
I summon you, creator of...
Here we go. The big reveal. The size of that hand. It's nuts. I mean, it is pretty horrific. Bye, Rani. And just like that, the Rani's defeated. And then Mrs. Flood is like, fuck this, get the Apple Watch on, I'm out.
It's a good night from me.
Bye. That. And there you go, just like that. Omega's defeated. Right, this thing with the baby. How did the baby become a member of this pantheon, by the way? Were they born a member? How did he become the god of wishes? That is not explained, and I don't understand that part of it. Bye, Omega. Job done. So in the cinema, I was like, wait, is it an hour already? It's been an hour. I'm so lost. I was like, that was the resolution to this. Well, that was bloody lucky, wasn't it? Yay! Puppy's alive! Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Can't run around like a nutcase anymore. Things will have to change.
So when she said that, I thought, oh, they're going to leave it like, oh, the doctor's going to take care of his child. The show's going to go on a hiatus for a little bit. And I genuinely thought Shooty was going to be all right and was staying.
Years, 60,000.
Isn't it funny? I used to...
At first, I thought, oh, Ruby's getting jealous. I thought, oh, bless her.
And
It just gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
we'll have the best.
Nuts. Yeah, this had me fucking tripping at the cinema. I thought my milkshake had some sort of LSD in it. Woohoo! May 24th. May 24th? May 24th.
One wish survived. And it turns out to be him.
I'm more annoyed that Conrad didn't get a brutal ending because he was such an empty character, to be honest. He was just built to be a bit of a twat. He should have been knocked out by Ruby and then, you know, had a little bit of a pummeling at least. Or taste of his own medicine. No. The man was a complete arsehole, become really rich from it, then got to stay in bedroom and have his mistress make him sandwiches, and then got a happy ending. Nuts.
That Christmas, I was that life. I ceased to exist.
This music change that comes in a second is so insanely loud. Doctor, we are your children.
I think we're all your children.
In the cinema, literally, I had lost my eardrums. So it's so clear that at this point is where they had to change the story.
What are you showing me that for?
Yeah, so at this point, I thought they were going to do like, you know what they did with the second Doctor in the War Games? Like, have him be like, oh, he's too fat, and he's too skinny, and he's too old. I want to be this person. And it was going to be some previous character we've seen before, which obviously does happen. But I thought they were going to do it this way. What happens next is the last thing I was expecting, to be honest with you.
Okay, let's say best male. But don't tell the others.
I'm surprised it's not the other guy. He is always turning up.
This was the last thing I was expecting to see ever again, was Jodie return to Doctor Who.
No, it was never gonna work.
Blimey, you're gorgeous. Your face is absolutely beautiful.
She was durable, I think, in this scene. Sorry, my camera storage is full because this episode is so long, so I'm having to use my bad camera. Yuck.
I love you, Doctor.
I should say that to Yaz.
You never do.
I stand by it. I do not agree with the queer baiting. See, at this point, I thought they were leaving it on like a cliffhanger. Don't know why, but I just did. This is the mind of a Doctor Who fan. You always think, oh, what nostalgia bait are they going to throw at us now? Here, I thought that he'd woken up in, what's it called? You know that place where Missy was? The Afterlife.
Not yet.
Never mind, Miami. Poppy's waiting for me.
This all here, bit of a mindfuck, to be honest with you.
Who's her father?
Her father's Richie. Richie Akinbala.
Who the fuck is Richie? Who the fuck is Richie?
He's a lovely man. He sees her all the time.
You see, this whole thing with Poppy, in the season 1 finale, he says to Kate, I don't have children, but I have a granddaughter because it's all out of time. You know what I mean? I thought Poppy was going to be the Doctor's daughter who then will grow up to eventually have Susan. So to make that all then make sense. But they didn't use that opportunity. It's so frustrating because some of the really obvious things that Doctor Who could do to make things make sense, they don't do. They do something completely different to make it more complicated. It's so annoying.
I wish that she was exactly like you.
Oh, look at her. Look at her.
You could come back, take me to Neptune.
I like that.
Belinda really wants to go to Neptune, man.
I love you.
I love you too, Shooty Gatwas. I love you too, Shooty Gatwas. Here we go. This is it.
Don't want to do this alone.
Wow. It's like the end of a sitcom, innit? All the lights going out.
Joy to the world!
It's so mad that he went to Joy. I will say, at least this regeneration looked bloody good. Nuts! Again, I still thought they were going to leave this on a cliffhanger, like around here, because it fades out to white. I thought, they're not going to reveal it. Goodbye, Shooty. Love you. Hello. So insane. What the fuck? Oh, man. Oh, dearie me. It's safe to say that that episode is a hot mess. Is it perfect? Hell no. Did all of it make sense? Hell no. Did I have a good time watching it? Hell yes. I'm very conflicted about my feelings of this episode in particular. I'm trying at the moment to find the line between being hypercritical and enjoying it. And at the end of the day, the way I look at it is, if I sat and enjoyed what I watched, there's clearly something in there that was good for me. Unfortunately, this fan base these days is insanely critical. I do think a lot of us who love this show from when we were kids. And obviously we've all grown up. We're very much more aware of narrative structure and character arcs and all of that jazz that we forgot why we fell in love with the show in the first place. I'm not saying that the writing is the same level as it was 20 years ago, because I don't think it is. At the same time, I do think if a lot of episodes that had come out from 2005 to 2010 come out in the current day, they would be hated. And I also think that if a lot of today's episodes were released in 2005, we'd be saying they were brilliant. It's a very weird thing, and as much as people will disagree with me on that, you kind of have to see where I'm coming from. I always open Twitter straight afterwards, and yeah, people are either really loving this season finale or they are hating it, like really hating it. One thing I'm going to say, Billie Piper is not the Doctor. I'm standing by it. She is not the Doctor, and I'll tell you for why. First of all, the credits, it said introducing Billie Piper. It didn't say introducing Billie Piper as the Doctor. Also, we know that the next Doctor is always announced. They've not, and I understand this was all very quick. But also, any Doctor Who social media doesn't say hello to the 16th Doctor, Billie Piper. So even the Doctor Who social media, as of recording right now, are not saying definitively that Billie Piper is the Doctor. I think people need to just relax. I think we've got to be somewhat understanding of what's happened. It's so clear that this was not the intended ending for this series. Shit happens, you know, and sometimes things have got to change. And I think we're going to find out how they're going to work this change in. I think it's completely understandable why Ncuti Gatwa left. This show is in a state of I don't know, it's a mess. There's so many factors as to why this show is not doing as well as it was 15 years ago, because there's been so many cultural changes, there's been so many changes in the way that we consume media. It's very easy for the grifters to say, well, it's because it's working, it's not working. Unfortunately, that tends to be more the middle-aged men that sort of say that sort of stuff. They only have 3 brain cells between them and can't actually think an actual constructive thought in their head. Those of us that still love this show are now turning on the show as well, which would indicate that there's something not right. For me, the fact that a large amount of the episodes from this season have brought out so much joy indicates to me that I don't think the show is nearly as bad as what people love to make out. People expect like this 13 out of 10 episode every week. They expect it to be perfectly written. And unfortunately, people have forgotten that this is just a camp tea time show that's meant to be aimed at kids, all right? And as much as people go, oh, the show's not a kids show, it's not a kids, it is. It was made to be a kids show. And if you listen to any of the showrunners speak, the Doctor is a character that is meant to be a role model for kids. Families enjoy it because it's a bit of camp fun, and people have lost the ability to just enjoy some camp fun. That I'm not saying that, you know, voids the show from criticism, not at all, but I do think people sometimes just need to relax a little bit. There are some perfectly justified criticisms out there about this series and about this era. Trust me, I've made a channel and made videos about it. People are so quick to jump the gun. There's people saying like, fuck Russell T Davies, I wish he was dead. How is Billie Piper the Doctor? It's like, whoa, slow down, slow your horses. It's whether or not Russell can deliver. There's a different question. Apparently Russell has said that this is a 3-season arc. There's one more left. I think it's going to be, because we've still got to find out who the boss is. Once that season's done, Russell T Davies should leave. I think he's done his bit now, okay? Because I think his return was meant to revive the show and bring it back to normal. It hasn't done that, but I don't think that's purely Russell T Davies' fault. I just think that's the way the show is. I think the show needs a break, to be honest with you. I do think it needs a break. It just needs... And then what they need to do is do an actual reset, because I'm so sick of every showrunner coming in and saying, we're doing a complete reset, reboot, and jumping on point, blah, blah, blah. And then they bring in all these old villains and all this lore that... There's even some lore from this era that I have no knowledge on, because I haven't seen every episode of the Classic Who. It is difficult for new people to jump onto this show. As much as they say that it's a jumping on point, it is difficult for new fans. Once this whole thing's wrapped up, this era, I think after season 3, I do think Russell T Davies should leave, get a fresh new writer, a fresh Doctor, and start from scratch. No more Last Time Lords. Oh, Gallifrey's gone. Here's 14 villains from the Classic era that most of the audience don't know anymore because they've not seen the Classic era. We need something new, okay? And I agree with the fan base on that. However, just relax, man. I've had so much fun watching this series, and Ncuti Gatwa was just brilliant. I think his intention was always to stay for a fairly short time anyway, but it is sad that we only got him for literally a year and a half. You know, we all love Christopher Eccleston, so Ncuti Gatwa lasted longer than him. Man, there's so many thoughts. The episode is a mess, and there's so much unanswered. And my only justification for some of these unanswered questions is that it's intended to be answered next season. Okay, Russell does love a multi-season arc, apparently. Most of my criticisms and all of that will be explained in my Doctor Who Season 2 review. I did want that up fairly soon, but I think after this episode, it's going to take me a little while to make. I know a lot of you are going to be quite angry, and that's fine. But see the good in it. See the good in it. And if Billie Piper is the next Doctor, which I don't think she is, don't be hating so much. Enjoy it. I get so angry when people get annoyed at this show for bringing back like old actors. These are people that have been in Doctor Who before and love the show and love the fans. And the fans can be so volatile to them, right? It's a privilege to have Billie Piper back, and I'm excited to see what they do with her. I still don't think she's the Doctor, which is fine. But if she is, then I'm going to support it. However, I will say I did want Saran Jones. I've been saying it for months. Saran Jones, please. Please be the Doctor. Guys, I'm going to leave it here because I've got to edit this behemoth now and it's 10:30. And, oh, God. What a day. What a life. And that's it for Doctor Who Season 2. I don't know when it's going to be back. We will be coming back, obviously, for War Between the Land and the Sea. Whatever the long name thing. The trailer for that looks really interesting. It looks very high budget, actually. I was quite interested by it. We will return. But I do think everyone needs a bit of a break from Doctor Who. It just needs to simmer for a bit, or at least do Season 3 and then have a lengthy break. Guys, thanks for watching. A huge thank you to my channel members, as always, for supporting me. This has been the best month on YouTube for me, mainly because of this season, and it's been an absolute joy, even though it has eaten at my mental health massively. But guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my Doctor Who Season 2 review, and all of the Sarah Jane Adventures reactions are coming. I just wanted to wait until this series was done, so yeah, it's coming. Much love, guys. Get a good night's sleep, have a think about the episode, watch it again tomorrow, and then maybe your opinions might change, might get worse, I don't know, but I'm tired now, so okay, love ya. Bye-bye.